Hello and welcome to the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast. I'm Paula Viganalin.
And I'm Fizz Dasani.
And our co-host, Zara Ali, is in the restroom but has to be leaving soon. So this is going to be mostly us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get her to say hi and bye to you.
Yeah.
We have a mic here.
Featuring.
Yeah, what's going on with you? What's going on?
Well, we were talking about like mental health stuff.
Yeah.
So we can dive right into that. I am just coming out of like a severe depressive state.
So the light at the end of the tunnel?
It feels better right now. Yeah,
we're
there
recording,
she
but
is.
if you want to stay as long as you want to stay. We said that you're in the bathroom and you got to leave early.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So-
Hi, everybody. What's up?
So Zara's back.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were like just talking about depression. So you said you're coming out of a depression.
Yeah, it was weird because I usually get it like once a year or something, or it's like cyclical. But this time, like my brain, like it felt like it was on fire. Like it felt physically wrong, and that was like
When you say it's on fire and you've described it that way, what does that mean? Like it feels like it's burning?
it's like it's like a headache, but it feels like it's burning. And I haven't. That's when I got scared because I was like, oh, like in all my years, and I've had depression for like since like middle school or whatever, on and off.
Yeah.
I've never felt that physical thing, but one of my friends who is bipolar has described when she's like come down and gone on to like meds that she'll have like sparks in her brain.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe that's it. Like maybe it's something like that. So that was like worrisome. But then I ended up going to San Diego.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, it was weird, and then I couldn't like concentrate, and I was like, what the fuck is happening with my brain? But then I went to San Diego and I like went for a run on the beach, and it was kind of like a reset, and I like let myself like sleep and like let myself not think, and that like
Nature's
helped
healing,
a little
man.
bit. Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah. So I'm coming up like out of that. And I've been going to like therapy regularly, like missed last week or whatever.
It
but,
helps.
it's helping me like work on myself for sure and like address my shit.
Yeah, dude, I had like no coping skills.
You have so much,
Now, but-
yeah, now.
But I mean, I guess it's good because I had to. It was like, a matter of survival. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to function, you need to be able to cope with A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But, yeah, depression's a bitch. And it's just like, I don't know. I've experienced it most of my life. I think the earliest memories of at least anxiety are like third grade. I
Yeah.
think third grade. I don't know. My family, I think it runs in the family as well. But I think, I don't think it's just nature. I think there's nurture, too. Like, you're being conditioned by people who see the world this way.
And
So
I think it's like a combination. Yeah.
a combination, yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's hard to, I don't know. They say, like, depression, there might be something sort of, like, stuck. Like, something's clogged up. Like, maybe, like, you're not feeling something or dealing with something.
Who says that? Like, is that psychiatrist?
I think so. I've read, like, and then even from my experience, like, I know that when I've made choices that were different, like things I didn't want to do, but I knew that were good for me, like, I felt a physical shift. Like, the first time I performed stand-up in front of my parents, and I bombed horribly, but, like, that was the first time I performed in front of my parents, and, like, suddenly, like, I stopped drinking that entire year.
Oh, wow.
I went from, like self-medicating with alcohol very often to just, like, not needing to drink. It was weird. And I guess because I had a lot of anxiety. See,
It like unlocked one portion of your depression or your anxiety.
yeah, it was
That's
so
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow. Like, it's sort of like that was healing.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrifying. Who wants to perform in front of your Muslim parents? And, like, this was, like, 2016, so everyone had an ass-eating joke. Something to open with an ass-eating joke, and it's just like,
Yeah,
hey,
wasn't
Mom.
like Truffle Butter really in 2016? That Truffle Butter song?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I posted something about how everyone had an ass-eating joke in 2017.
I did.
I
for
did
sure.
too.
I still do it sometimes. Sometimes a room calls for it.
Sometimes
know?
it does.
Sometimes
Really,
you
I was
need it
just
there.
throwing shade at
At ass eaters?
no, I mean, no, I God bless them.
Who
God
are you
bless the
throwing
ass
shade
eaters.
to?
You know, I've have a history of lovers, and one of them.
Is he back in your life? Is he creeping on the gram? Do your exes all like look at your Instagram videos?
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
Some of mine do.
Yeah.
Some of them do, yeah. Because I mean, some of them it's like years
The
later,
ones,
it'd be weird as
the
hell.
ones that ghosted me do, and I'm like, oh, okay.
That's common, actually.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's sort of like they ghost because they can't handle the real thing, but like an Instagram fantasy is easier to deal with.
I haven't had that. I've had like ex-boyfriends like watch my Insta story, but it's like been years. But I guess all the ones that ghosted me are like recent, so it's like kind of weird. I don't know.
They don't pop up on.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is weird. I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't get what the interest is. Why there's interest if.
I think it's also like, men have this delusion that, we're always going to be an option until we're not.
Oh.
Like, one of the guys that you dated who's hitting on me as well. It's
that was
like,
wild.
Yeah, he just was in this delusion that like anyone is an option, and it's like, are you insane?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and now that I think about it, like, it really grosses me out, but he'd make jokes about, like, I want to fuck your sister.
Ew.
I know.
What?
I know.
That's
Not having met
really
her.
gross.
But, like.
That is some Game of Thrones shit, actually.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And it's like, why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed a thing where like guys you haven't fucked will just only talk about sex? And then they're like clearly they like now I'm like, oh, they wanted to fuck me. But it was like they only talk about sex and then they like will ease towards like, what are you like in the bedroom? Like, has that happened? That always weirds me out. Where they're like trying to bond but just about sex, but I'm like, you clearly want to fuck me. Like,
well, like why would they be talking about that if there's a billion things to talk about?
There's like a
usually
couple
leave.
of people.
I leave the conversation.
Yeah. I just like always get trapped. I'm like, how the fuck did we get here?
Get up and leave. That's just what I get up and leave and talk to someone else.
I mean, it's like a couple of times it's been at like we're hanging out as friends, like out somewhere. So if I leave, I'm just like, I'm leaving this situation entirely.
I just, how do you handle that? Like, you leave. Me, I might like say something. I don't know. It just depends on the individual. But I think I've been in that situation, and I just like made a joke about it. Like,
I've also
let's
been
not
like,
do
yo,
that.
can we talk about something that's not sex? Because I feel like we're only talking about that, and then we'll start talking about something else, and it'll go back to sex, and I'm like, dude, what do we do? I'm not gonna fuck you. Like,
Did you say that? Because maybe that's what you needed to say.
I think I.
But then guys, when you say that, they're like, well, I
Well,
didn't
I
want you
wasn't-
anyway. It's like you literally just said you wanted to fuck
bring
me.
it up? Ugh.
And I said I don't want to fuck
It's
you
like-
back, and you're like, well, I didn't want to fuck you anyway. What?
Oh
Or
my
like
God.
they hint at it so it gives them like a cover.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I didn't actually ask you that. You're like, whatever.
The male ego is so fragile.
It is really fragile. And like I've had a friend where it's like I think he was always treating me as an option and I'm like this is never going to happen, But I think one night like like things got a little weird and I was like, "All right, maybe I'll try." And so then when I when I like responded to the advance, it was like, "Oh, I see what you're trying to do." And I'm like, "What? What?" And then I just left. And I shortly moved to LA a few months later, So I'm like, what I don't understand this town, it's just weird.
People are complicated and have issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like a fucking landmine out here. Like, you're just walking and then suddenly, boom, psycho.
I don't know. But then, like, we also get, like, called, I feel like women are always accused of being psycho.
Oh, because, well.
Or crazy.
Because,
or,
okay, well, maybe because we
it
know
goes
how
back
to
to the mental
identify-
illness thing,
Well, how about we can identify feelings and talk about them? And someone who's not able to can't, maybe they perceive that as crazy because, like, I don't know how to do this, so that's crazy. I don't know how to deal with this. Why does she have to feel this way and that way? And men, I think, like, men are so conditioned to, like, stuff their feelings. That's why there's so many fuckboys.
Yeah.
I know women like that too.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I mean, I was as well.
Yeah.
So I can relate to that. But I think
But yeah, society is definitely like you can't talk about your feelings to guys.
But I think, like in general, guys are, they have less of a privilege in terms of dealing with their emotions in this society. They're not really set up to do that.
Yeah.
I wasn't either. I think in our culture, it's similar as well, but not just men. Yeah.
Well.
Whew. God.
Wait,
Heartache, man.
We started this with depression and ended with fuckboys. That's
Yeah.
how it always happens.
Well, like I feel like fuckboys trigger depression. They've always triggered my depression. Not anymore, but
Well,
yeah.
it's like, okay, if you have a pattern and it leaves collateral damage, isn't there some sort of responsibility to either adjust or like stop fucking with people?
This is literally what I was saying last
Yeah.
night. Like it's like everybody needs room to grow and to change, but simultaneously, like if there are no results, then it's like that leaves like you're not addressing the issue.
You should have a warning label. So it's like, well, tell
like-
me what the fucking baggage is up front.
That's what I'm saying is like with alcoholics, it's like if you are like, if you're getting violent when you're drunk, don't drink. If you don't know how to handle people because you haven't handled your own issues, don't date like and pretend like you can commit or whatever when you like clearly can't.
Yeah.
But they want sex.
Yeah. I mean, it's
So-
human nature. It's like people with intimacy issues still need intimacy. They just don't know how
Yeah.
to get it,
Yeah.
you know? That helped. Like, I mean, it helps to sort of, like, for me, I don't know, I keep going back and forth between being angry and, like, empathetic. But
I think
that's, like,
common, right?
yeah.
You mean
How do you still feel?
towards people who
Yeah, like in the past.
take advantage? Yeah.
In the past. I mean, it's natural. It's natural to, like, you know, go through the process of being hurt. My cousin one time told me, like, heartache's just a natural part of dating. And I couldn't accept that for the longest time. I was like, this is a bitch. Like, if this is part of dating, fuck this.
No,
This
it is a part of it for
This
sure.
is what like my ex-boyfriend was like. He was like, I don't accept fighting in relationships. And I was like, that's like I've never
So he didn't want to grow in a relationship.
What is he talking about? There's other types of conflict resolution besides fighting?
he would say like discuss, but like it was clear like any contention made him really upset. And I've noticed that with a lot of guys I've been with actually is that like if you directly address anything or you show that you're uncomfortable with something, it like becomes a thing. When it's just like I'm just expressing how I feel, like this is like I'm not okay with this. Can we like deal with it? And then they're scared or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I don't know, there's like a pullback.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is it's just like some of these guys are like, it's a hairline trigger.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're like, oh, do you like, can I use your bathroom? I don't want to marry you. Get out of my house.
I did
Like, what?
I did
What
think
the
it,
hell? Like, I didn't know that. You
think
don't
it-
know what their trigger is. You don't know, like,
I did think it was so romantic when a guy let me like I went to his place and then he like got toilet paper on the way home, which he just didn't have. Like, he straight up
Aw.
didn't have toilet paper, and then
Oh
and I
my
was like,
God.
oh, how romantic, because those are my standards.
tell me at least you
Unbelievable.
got some.
He brought toilet
Guys,
paper back,
please
and then
be
he-
equipped with toilet
And
paper.
then he blocked me later.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I can't talk too much shit because I've definitely like gotten down to the last roll, and I was like,
I
just-
finally figured out my Amazon subscription for toilet paper.
oh, good.
Yeah.
You have the monthly.
Yeah, well, it's like every 6 months now I get like a big bulk, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Amazon has like saved it's like it's been with me throughout like this journey of becoming an adult where I feel like now I'm finally like
Yeah.
fully stocked. I have things that, like I can be a grown up thanks to Amazon. Can you sponsor us, Amazon? Thank you.
They can afford it.
Yeah, why not?
Amazon. Did you guys use Amazon to get your like textbooks in college? Because it was just like for books. At
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah, I did.
No.
So that might be like you know, before
No.
your time.
But
'Cause
I
you're
don't even
different.
remember when I
yeah.
started really using Amazon. Because
Yeah.
also, like, is this a thing? My parents, like, don't trust internet shit. They, like, we used an Uber once, like, last year or
really?
something. So they like, paying, like, in cash for a lot of stuff. And they also don't trust, like, ordering things online because they're
Wow.
of that generation and stuff. So I
Well,
feel
that's where
like
we're moving.
they didn't introduce it to me. And then so some things I feel like I got later than, like, my peers because my parents were like, don't trust this, don't trust that, don't trust this.
I didn't
So
know that.
For financially, for a lot of things, I always felt, like, behind.
Yeah.
And like that includes like internet transactions, I guess.
Yeah.
but-
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've exclusively been buying stuff online for like probably 10, 15 years.
Do you like you? So you're good at it. Like you can return stuff pretty easily. Like,
Yeah.
You know, like oh well. this
Just
isn't-
print out a label and give it to your mailman.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy.
Yeah. I mean, I need to get stuff off Amazon, but like, I know. Probably I could just. Or
Well, no.
I still need to get the drive.
Oh no, I
Oh.
wasn't. Whoa, that triggered you.
Yeah, no, okay, so
I was
feeling
not
guilt.
thinking about that
I
at
was feeling
all.
guilt.
Get stressed out about it.
I get
all of a
stressed.
sudden.
Shopping stress me out sometimes.
I
so I'm like,
was not gonna. I was gonna talk
no,
about.
that was me projecting my
yeah.
own.
Our listeners have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on.
We have a lot of issues, guys.
Fizz
have a lot of
needs to
got
buy a
triggered.
hard drive that Pallavi's been waiting on for a few months now.
We've been waiting on a lot of things from all
Yeah.
of us for however
Yeah.
long,
So
but
much
we're
shit
still
going on.
here.
This
so
is what
whatever.
happens. But this is what happens. It's like you're running a business, but then you're running your own business and your brand, and then we're all trying to like earn a living at the same time.
And
so.
sleep at some point.
And
so
sleep,
we
yeah,
don't
and
have our
do
bags.
auditions and all.
I was
whatever.
just going to say that there was an issue in the Bay where they had so many orders for online shopping because they're all like tech people who only shop online that they had issues at the recycling centers because of the boxes. It was
Yeah.
Oh my
like-
goodness, my building cannot keep up with our shopping because like
Yeah.
I think everybody in my building just buys everything online, even like
Yeah.
food delivery and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like she had our owner had like 3 recycling bins in the back of the building, and like Thanksgiving every weekend it was just horrendous. And then she's getting mad at us because the things are overflowing. She's like, no, cut up your cardboard and make sure it fits in the bins. I'm like, are you
another bin.
insane, lady?
You have to adjust to how people
Yeah,
change
exactly.
their lifestyles if you're going to have like a building.
Get a dumpster.
Yeah, so I think
Just
we did get a
recycling dumpster.
dumpster, and even that gets like filled up pretty quickly.
Yeah, ours does too.
Yeah.
We have a big building, but like it's always just filled to capacity.
Do you know what else gets filled up really quickly? External hard drives,
Oh
Fizz.
my
I
God.
know.
I'm kidding, I'm
Don't
kidding.
weaponize guilt.
I'm kidding.
Come
It's
on.
funny. Because I was not thinking
No.
that.
That's so funny that I was carrying that guilt of like, why did I put that off?
But we were talking about this yesterday. Is
Yeah.
that sometimes like when you message me during the day, I'm just like, I'm trying the best I can. Like I just get really anxious because I like want to get stuff done, and like the reminders aren't like a do this now. It's just like, hey, here's a reminder, but I interpret it as like get
Of,
this done now.
like
and
there's
I'm
an
like,
urgency.
I'm just like I can't. I have this other thing. I'm so stressed.
I think like it's we put that pressure on ourselves because like if it was really an emergency, I'd probably say like, oh shit, we need this by like this time.
Yeah.
But like I get that. I mean, I just like I mean if you guys probably relate, but like I put so much pressure on myself. I'm so hard on myself, and it's like I think it's just internalizing how we were treated
Yeah.
is BBs.
Yeah, it's like, did your parents do this to you growing up? Like, my parents would always, like they would ask me to bring them a glass of water or ask me to do a chore, but it was with such urgency. It's like, do this now. I'm like, what? I don't know what's happening.
They're used to having servants.
It's like, get me water, wash the dishes.
An idiot. Yeah.
I'm like, what do you want me to do first? I don't get it. And I'd start washing the dishes. They're like, where's my water? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it's like,
Little Cinderella
my
over here.
God, what happened?
See, we were such brats.
I wasn't like
I
did-
hate my parents. I really do for doing that to me. Now it's like I don't do shit.
Yeah.
I don't do shit for anyone.
You
I'm
don't
like,
hate
get
your
a servant.
parents.
I mean, I hate them for certain things, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
I never had the urgency thing, but I always had like when I did something, it was wrong. So that's like that actually is like I realized impacted my like lab work because I spend so much time planning that I don't like dive into the project. So then that's an issue. It's like a time thing. I take too long to start something.
Yeah.
Which is I found like with comedy, it's like I don't have that issue. So I think that's like why I'm like so excited about.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like I can just do it like crazy. I'm not in my head all the time
Yeah.
about everything. I just say things. But then yeah, so like with that it's affected my like career. Like it's like in every lab I've been in, I've taken too long to start projects, like fully diving in.
Yeah. Do you
But-
still feel passionate about your work, your engineering work?
I actually feel a lot better. I got more into the code like the last month because I got a warning, and then I felt like I had a good experience with my professor on Friday where he like realized I like know my shit a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. It's like a puzzle. It's like a different part of my brain that I get to work, and I like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like math. Never did anything with it, but
yeah.
I like math.
we have spreadsheets now and calculators on our phones.
I know. I used to be way sharper at just like
I
calculating.
still
in
don't
my head.
understand why I needed to take trigonometry or calculus. To this day, I will not understand why I had to do that.
I loved them. I don't know. They were.
I-
It's weird. It's weird. I know.
I
but-
mean, I did better in math, and I took all the classes in prob stat and like thermodynamics in college and stuff because I went to an engineering school, and I'm like, I don't need to do any of this shit.
Yeah, but you didn't know you wouldn't need it.
You know what? And I did know at that point that I wouldn't need it. And that, like, to this day, I'm just like, I don't know. I need to stop. Like, I need to let go of things. Honestly, I need to let go of things.
Yes, because resentment ages you. If for anything,
This is true.
If for anything,
this is true.
let go. So you,
I need to let go of things.
Like, if there's one argument that would work for Zara, it's that
Resentment ages you.
It does, man. That shit will fucking like.
Yo, I've been
That's
getting
so
heartburn.
funny.
This is new. I've been getting heartburn like the last like month and a half, and I'm like, sheesh, what? This is like. Now I can't even eat food now. Like this
That's your haters.
Oh my god, that's my haters. My haters are. They know how much of a foodie I am, and it's if you've noticed, there's been less pictures of food in my Instagram.
There has.
It's just I'm getting
there hasn't
heartburn.
been any food. I forgot
I
that you were a
know.
foodie.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's a sad situation.
I can't get over that argument. Amazing.
Oh.
Nail on the head. Perfect.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't.
I can't, like, hold on.
People, stop being resentful. It ages you. Got it, listeners?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, like I did a 12-step program, and one of the parts of the steps is to list all of your resentments. And I grew up in an environment where like resentments were held on to, so I
Yeah.
didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Like I just
Yo.
did not know, like, and so when I
Yes.
did it, guess how many resentments I had written out?
100,
So many.
200, 500, 1,000,
Not 1,000,
900,
but I keep adding to the list.
750.
Oh, you have it? It's an
Well, like
ongoing
you know, I
list.
try to keep track
That's
of it.
interesting.
And I like actually, you know, I kind of abandoned the work. I just kind of listed them all, and because it was so exhausting and it's so triggering to go through it. But like,
Were you listing
felt
like
better.
specific actions or
Everything.
interactions, or were you listing people?
so a lot of people, it's easier, I think, to and more organized to list it by person. But I was doing individual incidents, and I had a lot of
Okay.
resentments towards myself.
Well, yeah, of course you would have like, hundreds and hundreds if you were just listing
Yeah.
interactions. For me, I realize like my resentments are like maybe like a handful of people, but it's always those people who are problematic in my life, So it's like, this is annoying. I mean, most of them are family members,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like exes.
I feel like
Exes.
I don't have like incidents that I hold on to. Like, I feel like I have, like other than romantic ones.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're like, I mean, even like when we had our thing, and it's actually the episode Group Therapy Bitches. It's very entertaining and
That's like
informative,
one
but, like,
part of it, but like,
Was I here for that? Group
yeah,
therapy?
Yeah.
that's the science.
Oh,
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
And yeah, it got a little heated between
Yeah, for sure.
Pallavi and I, but you like were willing to let go, and I think like because of the work, like or resentments were like, I look younger now than I did before.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and I think I got through about like 70 resentments. Like I worked through about 70, and then I kind of left the program because
Yo,
It's hard to
imagine how
balance.
many J-Lo's gotten rid of.
I know.
That's her.
But like it's just like I remember I felt like a weight lifted when I like regarding those specific resentments.
I think
And it was so I don't know, it just like I feel like I need to like focus and do the work because I do still carry a lot of baggage. Like I still have that condition in me to hold resentments. Like
Yeah.
it's still like an active process of trying to let shit go.
is that like your ego saying like, if I let this go, then they'll get away with it or something, or like if I let this go, then I'm like letting
You know, I don't think like that anymore. I don't know if I did. I think my like people in my family may still think that, but like in my experience, I found that my resentment towards anyone else hurts only me. It doesn't affect the other person.
Yeah.
You know, it just like I don't know. So
I have an issue with like figuring out how to let resentment go while like keeping my power, because like my therapist, I think I've told you before, my therapist has said that I'm like attracted to abusive relationships emotionally. So then like if I don't air stuff out, then I
Oop,
feel
sorry. Time to go.
Then I feel like it's like oh, like I'm letting them like walk all over me and get taken advantage, and that's like a trigger that I have.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I'm like we have to like I always have to like flush it out. I'm like we have to figure this out. We have to like come to a good conclusion, and that's hurt a lot when I've like lost friendships because I'm like, oh, there's like no resolution, there's no closure here. But the it feels like always like it's a miscommunication.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think like closure, the real closure doesn't come from anyone outside.
Yeah.
You. It's like just coming to terms and accepting and letting it go. Like letting the power of it go. Easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah.
Especially like when you like if I had 500 resentments, then I can't even imagine sort of cuz my mom, I don't want to call her out, but like that's sort of how she operates is like she takes everything personally. So
Yeah.
it's sort of like, and you can see like that shit'll drive you crazy, that way of thinking. I get it. I've like, tortured myself, but like, I don't know. I need to go back and go through those resentments because I feel like I would be healthier if I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what I meant by like the incidents is like I take very personally when someone has like an issue with me, but when it's just like a general thing that I'm just like, that's just what they do. That's just like if this person has this behavior, I'm just like, that's just their thing. Like I don't.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is nothing like I don't think anything's really personal. If someone does something fucked up, that's more of a reflection of their fucked upness than your fucked upness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like nothing's really personal. It feels personal. It can feel personal, but
Yeah.
that's sort of like the rewiring the brain to say like, okay, that's not my problem. That's their problem.
I've started to
don't
do
know.
that with dudes. I've started to be like, oh, this ain't my shit. Bye.
That's
But with friends, I think it's harder.
yeah.
Because at some point, like, I think with anyone that you're close to, you like we're close to them because you like respect them, you like them, whatever. And then when that happens, you're like, oh, their opinion of me is this. Am I that person? Am I like? And then that erodes your like self-worth. That erodes your own power. But like people make mistakes. People have a different perspective on you that's not necessarily accurate. Like you don't also have like everybody has their own perspectives on things.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think it comes down to no one else's perspective really matters
Yeah.
when it comes down to you. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of you. I mean, again, easier said than done, but
Yeah, I mean, some people, they kind of value other people's perception, so it's harder. It's harder. I mean, and that's like just human behavior, and we've all been raised with that, like be mindful of like what other people will think and how other people perceive you. And we're
Yeah.
in an industry where it's so much about perception.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to distance yourself from that thought process when you're going through your own personal shit.
yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. This shit's tough. Like, that's not like how feelings work and triggers. It's like you don't really control them.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it could happen at the most inconvenient fucking time. And it's like, well, how do I deal with this now? And therapy, I mean, like, I've done 12 steps, but I was like a hot mess. I had to go to therapy. Like, it would have been, I wouldn't be here doing this if I didn't. Like I would have been like, I would have been like some people, in some of our families, like I get that's why like when I see like what some family members of mine are going through, I'm like I relate to that, and I'm just like, well, I know it was hard to get out of it, but I hope, we all have to just save ourselves.
It's so hard once you see what people can be and how evolved they can be after like seeking therapy and getting help for their mental illness. It makes me feel so like frustrated with people who just don't want to use that as an option when they definitely should,
It's a
So,
resource. Like
yeah.
that's the thing. It's just like this society, there's so much fucked upness that it's just like it's another resource to, and also like no one's parents are perfect, and like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't think I could handle being in this industry without having resources like that.
Yeah,
Maybe if I lived in
for sure.
Florida and worked at like Sears, I wouldn't need therapy. I'd be able to like,
I think everybody has
I
their
it would
own.
help me
know.
grow,
I mean,
but-
Sears can be stressful, Like you don't
Yeah.
have you.
well, I mean like a,
Oh my God, I've worked retail. Like definitely.
that's true. I have never worked
I have
retail.
PTSD from folding clothes
I've worked
on
hospitality
Black Friday.
and,
Like it's yeah.
and restaurants, but not not that.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I transitioned to so much online shopping, because I worked retail all throughout high school and during college. So it's like if I can not step foot into a mall during holiday season, like that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Malls, I don't know, man. Well,
They're shutting down all around the country. It's like online. That's what the world is turning into. Like, we don't need to go to a physical space
yeah.
to shop.
There's like a weird thing happening in Utah where every time I go back, there's like a new mall, but it's got like the same stores. So it's like a new area. It's like brand new, and then all the other mall is like deserted,
Yeah.
and it's like all the shops have gone to the new mall. And I'm like, why do we keep doing this? Just like just have
weird.
one fucking mall that works. Like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head to the next gig. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Come to our shows. Bye.
Find Zara at Really Zara. Zara spelled Z-A-H-R-A. Did I spell that right?
Yes.
Z-A-H-R-A. All right, have fun. How long? How are we doing on time, Paul? We're at 30.
Okay.
So we still got a little bit of time to chit chat. We both have to do spots after this, but we have a little more time.
Yeah.
So you are feeling better.
Oh yeah, depression. I am,
Yeah.
but I definitely feel very raw. And it was dark. So I'm very like cautious of like slipping back into it. I was also like talking to some people in my family and stuff, and like I feel like I have like a high functioning version of depression where it's not a good thing because I still get work done. So people think it's like, oh, like at least you got work done, at least you can like get out of bed. But it's then like nobody knows
Yeah.
when it's bad, and then I don't know, and then everybody like puts the same demands on me, and it's like I can't, and even verbalizing this now, like I feel like people don't believe me.
Yeah, or they might think like, well, it's the thing of, you mentioned before, like people would be like, oh, you're a robot. Like
Yeah.
you have superhuman abilities, and it's just like, well, no, you're human.
Yeah, I don't even think it's like the abilities.
ha-
It's just that I continue to do stuff. Like I don't
Yeah.
even think it's like that great of stuff, but it's just like I continue to do stuff. And so then
I think-
people like they don't feel as bad for you.
Well, they feel like, oh, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You'll land on your feet. Whereas
Yeah.
someone who maybe can't, it's just more of it's more alarming. So it's more subtle with you.
Yeah, but also like
But it's
I
real.
may
It's
not
fucking real.
land on my feet. Like I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're a person,
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I believe you will, because I believe you are passionate about things and have stuff you want to do. But like, yeah, it's tough. It doesn't make it any less tough.
Like I was full sobbing in the shower, and I went and did this set, and then later I found out that somebody said like they were talking to somebody else that got back to me. They're like, she didn't have a great set. Like she did this and this. Haters. But then I was like, I was full like on the ground crying in the shower like 10 minutes before
Yeah.
this. I was like, and then I went and I like didn't cry at the Comedy Store or whatever, and then I
Yeah.
got home and I was like, okay, success. And then later you hear that and you're just like, oh, that person had no idea what the fuck is happening in my personal life.
I know. It's so annoying because like, well, people are so, well, if they haven't seen you before, they're judgmental. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, you were like, you said you were on the floor of the shower crying. One time I found out like I had one person on stage and I was next. I was on deck. I found out like through text that he's an ex. I don't know if you know him, but like I found out he cheated. And he told me right before I went on stage.
That's
It's
like
like, what? I gotta be funny now?
Yeah.
So like I ended up going to the bathroom. I had the initial cry because it's such a shock, and then I did a set, and I just went into autopilot. It wasn't a good set, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, it was so raw. And this was a few years ago, so my coping was less developed at that time.
It's weird how
it is
like
now.
practicing stand up and practicing like this type of entertainment, part of it is practicing doing well when you feel fucking awful. Like you
Yeah.
have to keep going. And I know that's true in some other careers, but you have to pretend like nothing's wrong,
Yeah.
which is crazy. I had that the thing where like I felt like I got betrayed like 20 seconds before I went on stage, and then I went on stage and
Yeah.
I had a good set, and then the person later was just like, "Oh, like you're a robot. You like
Yeah.
got through it or whatever." And I was just like, I was dead inside the whole time, and I had a good set, and I couldn't feel any of it.
Well, it's wild that you could still pull that off. Like, that's skill, you know? And, like, I don't know, like, maybe I need to figure out a way to, I mean, I don't know, you know, like,
We're all still working on it.
we're all still working on it. But, like, I feel like sometimes it just depends. If something just happened, I don't know. I don't know that I don't know.
Yeah, it
'Cause
really.
I've had,
What? Go ahead.
I was just, like, I've had, like, sometimes if I have, like, a day or so to process, like, get the crying out, then sometimes the pain and the anger is activating and motivating.
Mm.
And I actually have, like, sharper sets because I'm feeling, I have strong feelings and opinions.
Yeah.
So it's like that can serve the set, but right after, I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, I compartmentalized because I had to, like, body went in survival mode or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, I think it depends on, like, how well did you eat? How well did you sleep? Did
Yeah.
you, like, were you talking to a lot of people right before? No? Like, were you doing, like, you know, it's just all, there's so many factors.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's just like, also, like, you know, everyone's sort of pre-show stuff is different. Like I think I'm wired as sort of an introvert in the sense that, like, for me to gain energy, I need sort of like alone time to sort of rest and focus.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, maybe extroverts, it's invigorating for them to have social contact.
yeah.
Whereas, like, social contact is rewarding for me, but I have to make sure, like, my cup is full. I'm energized.
Yeah, I get a combination. I need, like, both.
Yeah.
So it's, like, sometimes, and it's weird because I'm like, I don't know what I need right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, should I be at home or is that going to, like, demotivate me? Or do I need it to recharge?
Well, like, before a set, do you like to interact with people, or do you prefer just to sort of, like, you know, like, focus? Because I feel like, you know, everyone's different.
I think I started out, like, more bookwormy and, like, trying to come up with jokes and stuff and, like, look at my
Yeah.
stuff. But now I think I'm kind of, like, training to be unprepared before, or not, like,
Yeah.
unprepared, but, like, actually more prepared because I want to be able to look at the audience and decide what my set is going to be and, like,
Yeah.
feel how the set is going and change up my jokes in between.
Yeah.
So I'm much more, like, learn while on stage right
Yeah.
now because I'm, like, kind of forcing myself to do that. That's why I've been doing, like, a lot of crowd work and a lot of, like, just, like, in the moment changes on things.
Yeah.
So I have been, like, interacting more with people before this set. But also depends on the person and it depends on the room and, like, depends on the day. Like, sometimes I just, like, I often don't want to interact with people when I'm feeling depressed or when I'm feeling bad because then I'm, like, people have told me that they think that I'm a bitch from it. Like, when I've had my sleep apnea issues or my, like, depression or whatever, or I'm just tired.
So they misinterpret.
Because
what's
my
happening.
normal, like, joke level, banter level with people when I'm good
Yeah.
is high. It's, like, high energy, right? And then when I'm not good, it's very different.
Yeah.
And so people are like, oh, I thought you didn't like me, or you were, like, intimidating, or, like, you seemed upset. And I was literally like, I'm just tired. Like,
They misinterpreted.
yeah. So, so that then it makes me, like, not want to interact with people because then I'm like, they're going to expect something from me. They, like, want me to be this, like, high energy person.
Like, for me, if I have to deal with something, you know, emotionally or mentally, I'm going to be preoccupied with that probably, you know, in conversation. So it's like, oh, I don't want to be having this. I need to deal with my shit before I can even be present.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously you have to, you know, when you're working, you have to, like, I don't want to say suck it up, but, like,
Kind of.
you have to do your job.
It's a job, yeah.
Be, you know, polite to your colleagues. But, like, yeah, sometimes, like, one time I was about to go on stage and I had my notebook open and I was trying to figure out my set. Literally was the next person. Another comic would not stop talking to me even though he saw I was trying to use my notebook, and I said I need to look at my shit, and he could not stop talking and drove me insane. It's always men,
Yeah.
by the way.
I've had women do that to me, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I've had
I'm sorry for the generalization.
No.
yeah.
But, like, the thought that came to mind was I had a friend, a very good person, who I was like, I need to study, like, because I'll bring my work to,
Yeah.
like, open mics, because they're open mics. Like, you know, like.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was one
You
that.
got shit to do.
Yeah, and I'm like, and when people are like, why don't you just stay home? And I'm like, well, this lets me do both, so, like, suck a dick. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
not your business.
it's
I'm
literally
not here so you can talk to me.
Yeah, I'm here to get my work done. But, like, that person really wanted me to, like, see their set. and like I was like
Oh.
I'm like working and I have to like focus on this, and they're like, okay, but like just do it, like, and I was just like, this is like very strangely like forward of this person to like insist that I like watch their set, but they're also like they were just excited, they just like wanted
Yeah.
me to see it, and so I was just like trying to like navigate
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if it's a friend, I've gotten like so I've definitely gotten better at getting firmer and setting boundaries. It's something I had to learn, or I
Yeah.
am still learning. But like I think I was at one of the comedy clubs. I was on the show and like someone who wasn't a comic but kind of like a fan who wanted to interact, like was asking if he can come sit next to me and this, and I said, you know what, I need to focus on my set,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
know he ended up leaving me alone, and it was cool, and I felt really good about that.
Oh,
I would have
yeah.
been so resentful if I like was not able to express my needs.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk to him. I wanted to focus on my set because I'm about to go do a job.
Yeah, I think that's that empowerment thing is like
Yeah.
you don't want to feel crushed by your inability to express how you really feel, but often we like don't express how we feel to save other people's emotions, but their emotions are so unpredictable,
And
and we
honestly,
can't that's another form of controlling them.
yeah, you're right. And setting boundaries is really doing a favor for both people
Yeah.
because it's like you're not, you're letting them know what's okay and what's not okay.
Yeah.
You're giving them information.
Yeah.
If we don't give them information, that's the thing, is like, how can we? Because I've did that. I used to get like really upset when people crossed boundaries. I'm doing air quotes, but like I never set the boundary.
Mhm.
So how would they know?
Yeah.
You know?
But then you're just like, damn, you're an adult and you still like talk this close to my face. Like, how'd you
I mean,
get through
people
life?
disappoint constantly.
You're like,
you know, like,
damn, nobody taught you manners.
and then you step back, and then they take a step forward towards you. What the fuck is that?
Dude, stop kissing me on my cheek. Stop
And
face
it's wet.
talking to me. Spit. I'm done. I'm out.
But I will air kiss all the dudes.
Air kiss?
I love the little like the Beverly Hills
Oh, like side.
side kiss.
Is
type
that
thing.
is there a whole I don't understand Beverly Hills culture. Is that from like the hills? Is that like real?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's like just bougie.
Okay.
The whole air
Just
kiss
like
thing.
but it's like
No.
American bougie, so it's like kind of trashy.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a European thing too. Like in Europe, I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like when Europeans do it, I'm like, oh, that's like part of their culture. But when Americans do it, I'm like, what are you trying to play here?
You're being
Like,
extra. You're being extra.
being hella extra.
We're at the Comedy Store, and like some comic gives you a smooch on the cheek and like leaves like saliva residue. Like what the fuck? It's so extra.
If you're out here spreading herpes, you don't need to be that bougie. Like, don't worry about saving face.
Yeah, seriously.
The Hills is coming back. Did you know that?
Wait, so what is The Hills? That was the
Oh,
reality?
that's that reality TV show.
Same characters? They're bringing the same people
I
back?
think most of them, and they're like reuniting them,
Oh,
and
they're
like
all grown now.
yeah, and they're like but they still look hot because they're like all those people that were always hot, like,
Yeah.
and they're putting them back together with their like exes. I don't know what I just remember like growing up watching that, and just being like, this is foreign to me. Like I would come home from school and I would like binge watch like the Kardashians and stuff
Yeah.
because I would like I would sleep for like 30 hours after final. Like literally I would sleep for like a full day
Yeah.
after finals, and then I would have to have like the emptiest head. Like I was just cleansing my brain like watching them.
I need that sometimes, that type of stuff, just to check out. Like for me, my go-tos are some of the Real Housewives, the dramatic ones.
Oh, really?
The Beverly Hills in Atlanta, specifically. Those are the most interesting to me. And then Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, I
all of
remember you
those
telling me about Love and
franchises.
Hip Hop.
And like it's like, it's fluff. It's like fun TV. It's like, it's drama. It's like soap operas for our generation in a way.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like, it's almost like a guilty pleasure. Like I don't, this is not something I'm gonna put on my profile.
Yeah.
TV show. Maybe I would. Maybe I need to accept
Yeah.
it. But
My parents would always like hate that I would watch. They're like, you're watching this trash, like with the Kardashians. I'm like, you guys kind of watch the news, and a lot of the news is trash.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the fluff stories from like local stations is just like grandma made candles. Like it's just like what like
it's
it
just
is-
less entertaining
it's,
trash.
Yeah, it's like also reality television. Like what?
It's like boring reality. This
Yeah.
is like drama. I mean, like, I think definitely there's producers planting seeds and, telling people this character said this.
Oh, I'm sure so much of it is fake. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean,
Or
there's
set up.
casting calls for
Yeah.
reality TV shows,
And they're looking for chemistry too. Like, so like with these reality shows, they cast like friend groups.
Oh, really? Yeah,
or like
that's
social circles.
yeah. That's what they do. Like they did in the Hills. It was like a high school, and there was like the girl that was the best friend who liked the
Yeah.
guy, and then his actual girlfriend. Like the whole thing.
Like, so they're all in a circle anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Vanderpump Rules too, which is sort
My
of a
friend's
spin-off.
addicted to that. But
It's-
there's like an actual restaurant there, right? Like
Yeah, well, Lisa Vanderpump has 3 restaurants within a block on Robertson and in Santa Monica. So right there, like in the heart of WeHo, she has Pump on, and then she has Soar, and then she just opened Tom Tom. So
Yeah.
those are all walking distance, and then she has one in Beverly Hills as well. But that's
my
not on the show
friends
as much.
came here specifically to go to that restaurant or something like that. They were
Yeah.
like, so, I mean, maybe not specifically, but they were like, we got to go. We can't hang out tomorrow. We're going to this restaurant. And they were like, we cannot wait to meet these psychopaths. Like,
Honestly, I don't get starstruck, but I get starstruck by reality TV.
Really?
I know, because I'm so like invested in their life. Whereas like, you know, as we're artists, so like if I meet like an actor, another comic, even if they're like, you know, established, I don't really feel starstruck. But like reality TV stuff, it's like, oh my God.
That's like
I
a
know.
different world.
Yeah, I know like all about your personal life and I'm invested. And
I want
So-
New York to make a comeback.
which one?
New York from Flavor of Love.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's like those
she
are
has like
that's
epic
another-
gifts that live on forever.
Yeah.
I want her
So
to
we
make
should
it.
probably wrap up, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast. You can find us online at facialrecognitioncomedy.com, at Facial Recognition Comedy on Facebook and Instagram, and Facial Rec Comedy on Twitter. And, oh, yeah, I'm Fizza, at Fizza Dasani everywhere, FIZAADOSANI.
We also have our shows. Would you already say that, or did I like zone out?
No, that was the last episode.
Okay, good. Show second Sunday of every month at West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica at 9 p.m. We have Irvine Improv on July 23rd at 8 p.m. Everybody come out. We're also going to start touring again.
Yeah.
We're, like doing stuff. I'm Pallavi Ganalan, PALLAVIGUNALAN. Thank you.
And this has been the
Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast.
That title's way too long to coordinate that.
Yeah, well, we did pretty good.
Yeah, one bad.